Stoffer from the windup. And that ball is blasted. Center field. There's number one. And several more hundred to follow, we hope. 2 hours later, the Nats were celebrating a win and a return to first in the National League East. Today, Stephen Strasburg goes against his hometown team, looking to improve on his sparkling 1.64 ERA.
Washington Nationals baseball.
It may be only a 2-game series, but the Nats are going for a sweep today. Some gray clouds, some 37s, and a shortstop who had 3 hits last night when Ian Desmond gets on base. This is a different kind of offense. Padres 3-10 on the road, and now the Nats a dominating 13-4 at home. Bob and FP, welcome to a day game, kind of a rare Tuesday matinee. But how about the power switch turned on over the last week or so now?
Yeah, and I think there's a coincidence that it was with Davey Johnson's meeting he had. The Nats have won 4 out of 5 since Davey had that meeting. So all of a sudden you had a team that was a little bit tight at the plate, relaxed at the plate, and you see the results. Bryce Harper with his first Major League home run, and all the hitters in general just looking like they're more relaxed at the plate. Goon squad coming through, it doesn't matter. Starters, guys off the bench, everybody's getting involved right now. And there was a lot of talk about the offense for a while, but since they had that meeting, last game in Pittsburgh, 3-game series in Cincinnati, the team's been swinging very good.
The Nats have now hit 30 homers on the year, up to 7th in the National League. They were in the bottom 2 about 2 weeks ago, and they've only given up 18 homers, the fewest in all of baseball. So the offense now knows, with guys like Strasburg, Gio, and the rest of them pitching, they don't have to score a lot to win, but the swings are getting so much better.
The swings are getting better, and for Stephen Strasburg today, I think it's a great game for him to come alive. And after the 13 strikeout performance he had last time, you talk about the matchup today. 195 batting average against for Strasburg. The Padres hitting just 221 as a team. That's the lowest in the National League. They have the second most strikeouts in the National League with 290 as a team. I mean, you got to play the game, but this one's suiting up nice for Strasburg. You just hope that the 13 strikeout performance didn't take a lot of gas out of the tank.
And we would like not to see the bullpen today, but maybe we will. And how much of a lift did Sean Burnett give this ball club last night?
Absolutely. We talked about it during the broadcast. Sean Burnett lives for that situation. He's the guy that likes to come in with the game on the line. He's got a good sinker, a good ground ball guy. Henry Rodriguez is off today. We'll see who's the closer for the Nationals if the opportunity presents itself.
How about Sean getting an assist and a save on the same pitch? His 9th career save last night, first of this year. Now the Nats try to make it 2 in a row over the Pods. Learn more. And by Verizon Fios. Welcome to America's fastest, most consistent, most reliable internet. Welcome to life on Fios. It's a special kind of day here. It is Peace Officers Memorial Day. A World War II veteran has thrown out the first pitch. There are veterans and law enforcement officers all over the field, and it's a tribute to the 18,661 of them who have made the ultimate sacrifice throughout the history of our great country. We salute them. Flags flying at half-mast today around the ballpark. And thank you, law enforcement officers, for all you've done for us. Visit Train.com for an independent Train comfort specialist dealer near you. It's hard to stop a train. Humidity 71%. The rain has stayed away. We're knocking on wood right now for that. And a temperature of 75 degrees. Good day to get loose for Steven Strasburg. And the Padres now are tied with the Pirates for the lowest batting average in the National League at .221. Only the Pirates have had fewer homers. But Yonder Alonso is hot. 9 doubles, 7 RBIs. He has hit safely in 15 of his last 17 games. And the former Cincinnati prospect has upped his batting average to .300. And he's the only Padre anywhere near that mark. So here's Strasburg. First time he ever starts against a team with San Diego on the front of their jerseys.
Yes, big ratings in San Diego today. Breakfast with Steven Strasburg. He's coming off that incredible 13 strikeout performance Thursday against Pittsburgh. Pitched 6 innings, allowed 2 runs on 5 hits. He walked just 3 batters. So 2-seam fastball, 4-seam fastball, curve change is what the Padres will be seeing from Steven Strasburg. We'll check out the defense for the Nationals today. Behind Strasburg, Bernardino, Ankiel, and Harper in the outfield. Desmond Zimmerman on the left side. Espinosa LaRoche on the right side. And Jesus Flores doing the catching. Jesus Flores back in the squat today after a night game. Didn't think he was going to play last night, but he's in there again today.
And the Nats have called up Carlos Maldonado. Veteran catcher, 33 years of age, who will be the backup now. Danny Espinosa has a 6-game hitting streak. Ian Desmond has a 4-game streak. And the guys are swinging the bats well all of a sudden. All rookies led by Yonder Alonso with 10 multi-hit games. He also has 10 stolen bases. And how about the Nats? Almost unbeatable here at home. They've won 9 of their first 11 series, trying to make it 10 out of 12 today. 21-year veteran crew chief Brian Gorman has the plate. Tony Randazzo, Alan Porter, Larry Vanover on the bases. And Strasburg's first pitch. Trying to bunt. That ball was fouled before it came out in front of home plate. We're underway at 1:08 Eastern time. Will Venable hitting at .255. Cameron Maybin, who led off last night but is slumping, is behind him. Strasburg's 25th career start. Career record of 9-4 with a .225 ERA. All over the National League pitching chart. 3rd in ERA. 1st in strikeouts. And at this stage of the year, it's unusual to stay 1st in the league between starts on strikeouts, because a whole bunch of other guys have had a chance to catch up with you in innings. And he's got the 9th best opponent's batting average at just .195. Pretty close.
I remember last time out, Strasburg had the good fastball. He got a number of punch outs with that pitch, but I thought his best pitch against the Pirates was his changeup. You see the strikeout leaders right there. Anibal Sanchez 51, Steven Strasburg 51, and he's looking for 52 right here. And we asked him the next day, you know, your off speed, which one is it? Curveball, changeup on a given day? And he said, whatever one feels best. And he likes to get a feel for the off speed early in the game. So if he needs it late in the game in a big situation, he knows what to do with it.
And a ball popped up out behind short. Desmond out looking for help. Who's going to give it to him? Nobody. Ankiel and Bernardino just stopped. You could tell right off the bat that Ian Desmond was looking for help, because that ball was hit way behind shortstop. Nobody took charge.
Well, on a day when you thought that Steven Strasburg might have a shot at a no-hitter, there it goes. First hitter of the game, Will Venable, a routine play to left center field. Everybody standing around looking at each other.
Oh,
I'll tell you what, a manager rather see 3 guys crash into each other than 3 guys stand around like that and let a ball drop.
That's a double. Here's Cameron Maben. Looked like Ankiel was the first one to pull up. Then Bernardina stopped and looked at him. And I don't think that was Ian Desmond's ball at all. That ball was well out into the outfield. Cameron Maben last night in the leadoff spot, 0 for 4 with a walk.
And right into a stretch for Strasburg and right into a high stress situation right out of the gate. And you see that happen on the road sometimes where a ball drops because guys can't hear each other call for it. But at home, very quiet today so far. Crowd just arriving. There's no reason why you can't communicate and somebody call off somebody.
And I don't know if anybody lost it in the sky, FP. It's a very glare of a sky up above. Cloudy conditions, but some sunlight breaking through.
I think they all saw it. No one just called it.
That's what they're looking up into. There's plenty of blue up there behind home plate. No balls and 2 strikes to Maben, who has struck out now 30 times on the year. 1 down.
There's a curveball from Strasburg. So he's thrown all 3 so far. Fastball, curveball, change. And that curveball was a good one.
That'll bring in Chase Headley, hitting .250. 2 for 4 last night, an RBI, a run scored when he bowled over Sandy Leon. Some of the San Diego guys told me that Chase was upset about the results of that collision last night. And you mentioned it when you took out Chris Hoyles. You feel really bad when you injure a fellow ball player.
Absolutely. But that's the way you play the game. You play the game hard. And if you don't have a lane to slide in as a base runner, sometimes you have to go through the catcher. And it's unfortunate that his first big league game, Leon got hurt.
Will Venable, good speed at second base with 1 out. Chase Headley, San Diego's leading RBI guy with 17. Padres have scored 114 runs, only the Pirates fewer in the National League, and the Nats have only given up 111. Runner going, swinging a foul. Venable had a pretty good jump.
And you have to have a good jump on second if you're going to steal third with 1 out and a left-handed hitter batting. It's a clear lane for the catcher to throw to third base, so you better have a plus jump at second to steal that base, and he had a good one.
Target was inside, and Steven misses up high. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
When you have a long day as a baseball player, it doesn't get you the next day. It gets you the day after. And I'm wondering right now if that last game in Cincinnati with a 3.5-hour rain delay, a 4-hour baseball game, it might be having a little effect with a day game after a night game right now. Venable with a big jump, the miscommunication in left center field for that ball. Sometimes it takes a minute to get into a ball game when you're a little bit groggy from maybe 2 days ago. And
it's not often that a runner tries to steal with a left-handed batter in there where there's no impediment to the catcher on his throw at all. 3-2, and Strasburg misses upstairs. First and second, 1 out. Now you've walked a man in front of Yonder Alonso, suddenly San Diego's hottest hitter. They gave up a lot to get this kid. Matt Latos sent off to Cincinnati. Alonso comes over here with Edinson Volquez plus 2 other players.
You see Strasburg right there with the runner on second base using the slide step. Quickened up his delivery right there on a changeup. You don't see that too often. A pitcher speeding up his motion with the runner on second.
Yeah, bases empty is pretty good, but with runners on, he gets downright nasty. That ball is scorched into right field. Here comes Harper. Here comes the runner that throws up the line. San Diego leads. And the Nationals outfield not taking command on the first swing of the game, costing them a run here.
I think more importantly, Carp, than costing him a run, costing Steven Strasburg a lot of pitches. And maybe not just pitches, but high-stress pitches. All of a sudden you find yourself in a runner on second base, no-out jam. You got to go to your best stuff right away. You don't have time to ease into the ball game, and now you're pitching like the game's on the line, the bottom of the seventh, right out of the gate.
Orlando Hudson will be the next hitter. It's amazing in this game how one moment of less than 100% concentration just comes back to cost you.
Yeah, and Felipe Alou, my old manager, his biggest pet peeve was not being ready on the first pitch. If I ever made an error on the first pitch, I'd hear about it in the dugout every single time. And he called it being ready to play the game.
That ball is well hit and just outside first.
And consequently, if an umpire blew a call on the very first play of the game, he would scream at the umpire, "You're not ready to play either."
First time all year Steven Strasburg has fallen behind in the top of the first inning. Oh, 2 count. He sailed some fastballs way up out of the zone so far. He goes breaking ball. And Brian Gorman is giving Steven Strasburg nothing to start this game.
I thought that was up. It didn't come down like the normal Strasburg curveball. Stayed up in the zone. Pretty good try by Jesus Flores on the backside, but it was up.
I think my point was earlier he wasn't given any of the low pitches. So you would figure either the top or the bottom of that zone would be available. Here's the 2-2. Runner goes. Swing and a tapper fair. Flores, they're going to have to throw home. Well, now the runner will stop. So the out at first, and for a moment Chase Headley had designs on rounding the bag and continuing home.
And for a team struggling to score runs, facing a guy like Steven Strasburg, Headley had it. If he keeps rolling right here, he's got home. And Jesus Flores in his defense doesn't have time to check the runner at third because Hudson can run. So they were caught right there. And if he would have kept running, he had it. Easily, I think.
Plus you have the pitcher running in, having to turn around and receive a throw from first base to get you out. So here's James Darnell, the left fielder. And Strasburg gets a strike. Darnell considered one of their better hitting prospects. A .302 batting average in 4+ years in the minor leagues, including 7 home runs and 21 RBIs this year at Tucson before they called him up.
I mean, that's a win-win for Headley. If he gets thrown out at home, his manager doesn't say a word to him. And if he makes it, all of a sudden you fire up the dugout, you sneak a run past a guy like Strasburg. To me, it's a good gamble. I'm sure Bud Black would have had no problem if he tried to go home on that play.
Counts even 1-1. So this is going to be at least a 25-pitch first inning for Steven Strasburg. On a day you thought he might go out against an overmatched opponent, and he still might. I mean, we might look up in the 7th inning and it's still 1 run on just a couple of hits. Ball 2.
Yeah, but when you have this high-stress inning to start a game with, it doesn't bode well for going late into a baseball game. Not because of the pitch count, but we talk about it all the time. The type of pitches he's throwing here. I mean, he's pitching for his life here in the first inning. That's going to take some gas out of the tank.
Well, he is having a hard time locating that fastball. 3-1 pitch. Wow. Bases loaded.
And just kind of flying open a little bit, getting underneath the pitch. And Davey Johnson knows it. Steve McCaddy knows it. He's going to go out there and try to tighten up his right hand. The front side's flying. He's a little bit quick right now, and the arm is trailing. Not really on time so far in this game. And what happens when you fly open is you have a tendency to get underneath the ball and miss high. Kind of spinning off right now. It's going to accomplish a couple of things. Calm his right-hander down. Tell him that he's okay. Just stay back, slow down a little bit, keep your front side closed, and you'll be all right.
The number 7 hitter, John Baker, will bat here. .271 career hitter. And the backup catcher for the Padres batting a .143. 4 for 28. 31-year-old left-handed swinger. Came from the Marlins last November in a trade for left-handed pitcher Wade LeBlanc. He has 1 RBI. Ball slapped left field way. Unreachable for Roger Bernardino, who is already playing near the line.
You could just see the difference in that pitch from the last 3 from Strasburg. The left shoulder was closed, more of a downhill angle right there. And look where the location is, down in the zone. That's right where he wants it.
Raindrops falling. Strike 2 on the inside corner. And I mean rain coming down pretty heavily out of nowhere here. They'll be scrambling in the field seats here.
And they must be popping up. I looked at the radar right before the game, and there was no showers in the area. So first bootleg weather report, pop-up thunder shower.
Upstairs. It didn't rain this hard yesterday when it rained half the day.
Well, there's 1 cell right now, and it's right over the ballpark, obviously. How about that for some weather?
Ball 2.
A good weatherman always just looks out the window. Keep it simple.
Yeah, give us how you feel about it, not what you think about it. 2 balls and 2 strikes to John Baker. Strasburg steps off. Baker steps out.
And Baker shaking his helmet, trying to get those raindrops off the bill of his cap.
Strasburg jams him. Third base side, but Ryan Zimmerman not able to reach that.
Now, worst thing ever is when you're hitting in the rain. Obviously, you don't get a grip on the bat. Sometimes your pine tar gets slick. When it's raining like this, it's your helmet. The water beads up. You see him wiping it off right there, and all of a sudden you're trying to hit a guy throwing 97 with water dripping right in front of your eyes. Great shot, guys. That's it right there. That is not a fun at-bat for a hitter, folks.
Way inside, 3-2.
And there's nothing you could do right before you get in the batter's box. You wipe off the bill of your helmet. But when it's raining like this, you can't keep it dry. It's almost like hitting in a car wash.
Steven Strasburg in his final inning in Pittsburgh Thursday night walked 3 batters. Got a strikeout to get out of it, and now in his next inning of work, he's given up 2 hits and 2 walks.
I mean, they should put the tarp on. This is getting ridiculous. It's pouring right now. Strasburg stepping off the mound for the 3rd time in a row.
They're going to do it. I don't think Steven wanted to throw a 3-2 pitch under these conditions, and we are stopped by rain at 1:24.
And it is just 1 cell. I'm looking on the radar right now. It's a little yellow dot over downtown D.C., and there's nothing behind it. So once this clears up, we'll be good.
Well, the tough thing about this is the Nats should have been in their own dugout several minutes ago. But the defensive lap in left center kind of got things off to a bad start. Strasburg on the mound for 16 minutes and nearly 30 pitches. by the time this one was halted by this pop-up storm.
Now, they have to keep the tarp on for a certain amount of time, right? And will this affect Steven Strasburg's start?
Yeah, I don't think it has to be a certain amount of time for the tarp.
That's just when there's lightning in the area.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. I mean, they could roll this thing back up 5 minutes from now. But the infield will require a little bit of work. We'll send you to ESPN News in the meantime. When we come back, bases loaded, 3-2 pitch, top of the first. And walked over to him and said, "This is just a cell that's right over Washington. There's nothing behind it." So about 30 seconds later, the umpire waved the Nationals back onto the field. They had the tarp out there, unrolled, but they never unfurled it to cover the infield.
Well, they probably have the game on in the clubhouse and listened to my weather report, and that's all it took.
You know, you're supposed to report the news, not make news up here.
Well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to look at a radar and see a small cell just moving over the downtown area.
It's already eased off considerably. And the bizarre thing about this situation, when play is ready to continue, Steven Strasburg has one pitch to either get out of the inning or to give San Diego at least one more run.
That's a long time to think about a 3-2 pitch with the bases loaded.
Yeah. I just got handed a note that said FP stands for foolproof weather.
Absolutely. Give me a green screen.
Now it's raining hard again. Now they're working on the base paths right now. They've already put some turfus compound in front of the pitching rubber in both sides of the batter's box and where the catcher sets up. Padres haven't sent their base runners out to their bases yet. Now they come.
The funny thing about that little cell that moved through, it just popped up right around Springfield out of nowhere and came over across from Alexandria right to the ballpark. It seems like they're just popping up anywhere, but there's nothing behind it, so we should be okay.
33 pitches so far. A very un-Strasburg-like ratio of 17-16 on the strikes and balls. And pitch number 34 will be crucial here in the first inning suddenly. Hats off to the ground crew doing what they can in such a short period of time.
Well, that's my favorite play in baseball. 3-2, bases loaded, everybody going. I don't know if I've ever seen it out of a rain delay, though. This could be interesting. What was it, a 10-minute rain delay?
Right now, 7 minutes.
And we didn't have the rest of the umpires.
Come on.
Brian Gorman was ready, but Tony Randazzo, Alan Porter, and Larry Vanover were still eating their dollar hot dogs left over from last night.
Yeah, the longer this goes, the more you get concerned about the location of this next pitch.
I was concerned about the location of the umpires.
3-2 pitch, runners moving, bouncing ball up the middle, base hit. 2 runs will score. San Diego leads 3-0. So after an 8-minute delay, the Padres have a crooked number on the scoreboard.
3-2 two-seam fastball ran right onto the barrel of John Baker. And just like that, it's 3-0 Pods.
Number 8 hitter will be Andy Perino, the shortstop.
Maybe the strangest first inning that Steven Strasburg's ever been through at any level. You talk about the first ball dropping. A rain delay for 8 minutes. You come back to a 3-2 count. You're ready to throw the first pitch, and there's 3 umpires that aren't on the field. Strange first.
Andy Perino trying to break an 0 for 7. Strasburg misses with a fastball. And Steven would be the first one to tell you that he hasn't had his location here in the first inning dropped, fly ball notwithstanding. That's a breaking ball that misses. 2-1. Not that anybody dropped the fly ball, but it dropped on its own in between 3 fielders. I've never seen him miss with his fastball like this.
We've seen him struggle early in games before this year. And it's just a matter of getting back to that dugout, talking to that guy right there, Steve McCaddy, and figure things out. He's been able to make adjustments on the fly quickly this season.
That ball is drilled out to deep right center, but Rick Ankiel is there. And the inning finally comes to an end. That took almost a half hour for San Diego to score 3. For Steven Strasburg, and now the Nats have to keep those bats humming along. See your authorized Dodge dealer and experience a world of performance, design, and fuel efficiency. Schedule a test drive or go to Dodge.com and check out the powerful lineup. Ian Desmond, a .302 May so far. He has 42 hits on the year, and he's back in the top 7 in the National League in base hits. Like I said earlier, when he gets on, the Nats are a different team. Anthony Bass, first career start against the Nats. He's this year 1-4. He was 2-0 in 27 games, 3 starts last year as a rookie.
Last time out Wednesday against the Rockies, he received the 6-2 loss. He worked 5 2/3 innings, gave up 5 runs on a career high 9 hits. He struck out 4, walked 1 through 96 pitches, 55 for strikes. Fastball, slider, cutter, change from Anthony Bass today. And we're going to keep an eye on his delivery. He has tried to mimic and copy the windup of Tim Lincecum. We'll keep an eye on it. And the defense behind him, Darnell Maben, Venable in the outfield, Perino, Headley on the left side, Hudson Alonso on the right side, and John Baker doing the catching.
Anthony Bass, 6'2", 190, 24 years of age. Out of Trenton, Michigan. He was born in Dearborn, right outside Detroit. And Ian Desmond takes a strike.
I'm talking to the Padres people today. He said, well, if Lincecum's 5'10", 160 pounds and he can do it, why can't I do it at 6'2"? And you look at the motion, it's the exact same of Lincecum.
Desmond in the air to center for Cameron Maben. That'll bring in Roger Bernardino with Ryan Zimmerman to follow, bottom of the first.
And the best thing that could happen for Steven Strasburg is for the Nats to prolong this inning as long as they can. Obviously, an answer would be nice with a run or two, but a 1-2-3 inning after how hard Strasburg had to work in the top of the first wouldn't be a good thing.
Rogers on a 5-game hitting streak, 8 for his last 20, raising his batting average up to .246. Off-speed pitch, he was out ahead.
Kind of slides over on the rubber from the middle all the way to the first base side. Cups the ball behind him, tries to get that big leg kick working. Watch where the ball goes out of his hand. Way back there.
Bernardino lays one down. Chase Headley. Pretty simple play, and the ball bunted off the line and pretty hard toward him. 2 outs.
A good idea by Roger Bernardino right here, but Headley was right in his face. Look how shallow he's playing. A step on the grass as soon as he squares. Headley's got an easy play. Now, if he makes him go to the line right there, you see how he's going to first base and the bunt's kind of closer to the pitcher than the line? As a third baseman, if you have to go away from that play, meaning into the third base dugout, the ball's more toward the line, now it becomes a more difficult throw and you got a chance. But the throw took him right to first base. Easy play.
Ryan Zimmerman. By the way, the only National who's ever had an at-bat against Anthony Bass is on the DL, Mark DeRosa, 0 for 1. Other than videotape, the Nats haven't seen this right-hander. Zimmerman pulls it. Headley. And the Nationals go 1-2-3. And Steven Strasburg's going to have to head right back to work. Top of the order for the Padres, down by 3 here in the second, and our AT&T fact of the game. First 25 starts among all active pitchers, only Kerry Wood with an amazing 223 has more than Strasburg's career mark coming in.
Yeah, nobody gets excited about the strikeout more than I do, and it was great to watch Strasburg last time out against the Pirates strike out 13 of them. But right now I'm starting to think that the strikeout might be a little bit overrated. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot out of a pitcher. And last outing might be affecting Steven today early. You strike out 13 guys, that's not easy, and it's not Steven's fault that the Pirates couldn't put the ball in play early in the count. You know, he was getting to a lot of 2-strike counts, and that's just how that game went. So if you're going to give me 13 strikeouts, I'm going to take them, but sure, that's a lot of work.
And it also only gets you 6 innings on a night like that. Anthony Bass 2 for 12 this year, 2 for 17 career. And a swing and a foul tip. Strikeout number 2. But most importantly, a quick out to start the second inning.
Like I just said, I love the strikeout, and it's definitely not overrated. It's just a 3-pitch strikeout right here. Good afternoon, good morning, good night, in whatever order you want to put it in.
In this case, good afternoon at 1:42 Eastern. Here's Will Venable.
Hey, it's a day game after night game for the broadcasters, too.
Did a little extra stretching this morning.
Did you? Good job. I was watching that.
Yeah.
You're pretty limber.
Little extra yodeling before the game.
That yoga class you're taking is really paying off.
Yeah, except that they have to pick me up off the floor when I'm done.
Hot yoga with Bob Carpenter.
Bring plenty of liniment and ice. By pitch type, the 2 different kinds of fastballs. So the 2-seamer is a put it in play, get ground ball pitch.
Yeah, for a 179 average against. I'm soaking that whole graphic in right now. And the 4-seam fastball is the one he goes to for the strikeout pitch. That's why he had 16 of them. But it's also the first pitch ambush pitch. That's why there's a 246 average by it.
Yeah.
A lot of guys swinging at that first fastball from Strasburg. And I think you see why with the changeup curveball averages. 143, 158 with those 2 pitches. You don't want to get to 2 strikes with this guy for that reason. That's a good pitch.
Well, Brian Gorman's not giving the low pitch, and he's not giving the high one so far.
Probably just a hair low, but somewhere in between those 2 you just talked about is a strike. And when you see a catcher hold it for that extra tick, he's telling the home plate umpire he thought it was a strike too, and it cost him.
That's a hanging breaking ball. Another extra base hit for Venable. Nats will have to get this ball in quickly. And he's going to go to third standing up. Took Bryce Harper a while to get there. Plus, they know any outfielders picking up a wet ball today.
And all of a sudden, the Padres, in just an inning and a third, are a home run short of the cycle as a team. A single by Alonso, a double by Venable first time up, and how about this triple down the corner?
You know, and I said hanging breaking ball. That thing had plenty of snap to it, but it was over the heart of the plate, and Venable did a good job to get it. Infield in, here's Cameron Maben.
Now, once again, Strasburg in a high-stress situation. He's looking for the strikeout. Whatever he can to strike out Maben. He struck him out the first time up.
One ball, one strike. Phillies have an early home run by ex-National Brian Schneider, his first of the year. And they lead at home over Houston 2-0 third inning. Phillies are 5.5 games behind the Nats. Only other National League game going on for a while. Late swing by Maben, strike 2.
So Maben's seen a fastball 4-seam, changeup, fastball 2-seam. Anything he hasn't seen in this at-bat, and I'm not sure if he saw one his first at-bat, is the curveball. Let's see if he goes to it. And there it was.
Yeah, that was the hook, had him reaching.
And you could tell by the body language today from Strasburg, he's searching out there, trying to figure it out on the fly, trying to make the adjustments he needs to make. He's still searching.
Swing and a miss. That was a hot-looking changeup coming down and in to the right-handed batter. Strikeout number 3.
Now, a big pitch early in this baseball game. If you can keep it right at 3-0, you're facing a guy last time in Bass that gave up 5 runs on 9 hits in just 5 2/3 innings. So, well, it doesn't look good for Strasburg. And when you see a 3-run inning against this guy, it looks like a 30-run inning because you're not used to it. If he can keep this score right where it's at, the way the Nationals have been swinging the bats, they have a chance.
And a ball popped out to center. Here comes Ankiel. He'll get there. And with the sun trying to pop through, this one goes to the bottom of the second. Good inning for Steven Strasburg. To be generated. When you're at a home game, stop by section 112, 113. You can buy Nationals game used, autographed, and team issued memorabilia available at every home game. Email memorabilia at nationals.com to check it out. Or you can see a Danny Espinosa bat right there. It's all certified. Pine tar, game used.
That's a bat memorial right there. All those bats died heroes. Every single one of them.
A dirty Ryan Zimmerman jersey. Nice.
That's one they just took out of the team store, rubbed it on the infield, and hung it up and said, game used.
Now, come on. You know it's all certified. Because Major League, what do you call him?
Major League Baseball Authenticator guy.
Authenticator guy, yeah. Here's LaRoche. Shift is on. The sun is out, and that's a breaking ball down and in.
He tried to introduce himself to me last year. I said, I don't even want to know your name.
His name's Bob.
He's baseball authenticator guy to me.
Just say hi, Bob. Two and one. 7 pitches, 5 strikes for Anthony Bass, first inning.
Sun's out. Great day at the yard. If I was anywhere near the ballpark and I saw this game on TV, I would come to the yard in a heartbeat.
Two balls and 2 strikes. LaRoche, Harper, Espinosa, bottom of the second. Adam LaRoche, 7th in the league now, along with Ian Desmond, with 13 multi-hit games. High and tight, 3-2.
It's a pretty good pitch.
But there's no high strikes, remember?
That was that front door sinker. That's the hardest pitch for a lefty. Doesn't matter. Throw it at the front hit, bring it back. There's nothing you can do but break your bat and foul it off and get another chance.
And LaRoche will take the walk. The Nats have their first base runner. Bryce Harper, number 1 last night.
3-1 count. A cutter that started away and went right down the middle into the turbo zone for Bryce Harper. And he absolutely, positively knew what to do with it. I think the best part about that is it landed on the putting green out there, so he got the ball back. There was no barter system involved where you had to give up a jersey or a bat to get your first home run ball back. And check out the years. 19 years, 211 days.
You might have noticed a bit of an anomaly there next to B.J. Upton. 19 years, 365 days. No, he wasn't 20. 2004 was a leap year. How do they find these facts?
So then he was really like 12 then, right?
Well, it wasn't his birthday, the leap year day. If it was, he'd be, what, 2.5?
I played with a few teammates that came back after the season, had a few birthdays in the off season. Vladimir Guerrero comes to mind. He had a couple birthdays one year. We had 2 birthday cakes waiting for him in the clubhouse.
Some guys needed a whole bakery shelf. Another story for another time. So Harper works the count to 2-1. He's 13 for 56 as a big leaguer. Batting average at .232. Playing in his 16th game. And the count's even 2-2.
Checking his bat to see if it broke. Had a funny sound. Tap it on the plate. If it vibrates, it's broke. And when you have so much pine tar in your bat and rosin and dirt, you can get a hairline fracture and not see it.
And Harper, he'll hit it too hard. It'll carry right to Will Venable for the first out.
That was a missile. Check out the swing one more time. I said when his feet slow down, he's going to start pulling the baseball. Well, check it out. Feet are slow, gets a pitch out over, a little out in front, still gets the barrel on the baseball. Look how quiet he is with the lower half and how violent he is with the upper half. That's perfect.
Well, he is the epitome of dropping the bat head on the ball. 1-on-1 out. Danny Espinosa will be next. Danny is 8 for his last 23 over 6 games. Batting average up to .216.
I just think if you're Anthony Bass right now, you got a 3-run lead, probably didn't expect to have that, and all of a sudden you're free and easy, getting to all your pitches, very relaxed out there, where maybe before the game you're thinking, okay, I'm going up against Strasburg. He struck out 13 guys last time. Yeah. One of the better pitchers in the National League. You look at the ERA, batting average against, and we've seen pitchers do that against some of the Nationals guys this year where they're actually a little bit tight. Now he's relaxed, loose, free and easy.
Slow roller. Danny's going to have to hustle. He will not beat the relay, and it's a 4-6-3 double play ball to end the second inning. So the Nats without a hit so far. At AFCEA.org, the Association for IT Pros. Christina with our sideline report.
Well, Bob, for any Nats fans who heard your fabulous call last night and saw Bryce Harper's home run last night, they may have noticed that Harper was rounding second before the ball was even out of here. Just another sign how the kid likes to hustle. He's never run the bases any other way.
I always have since I can remember. I never want to show up that pitcher. I never have wanted to. But the only time I would do that is, if you mess with my team. That'd be the only moment I'd do that. But I never want to disrespect that guy out on the mound. He's been there, done the things, and it's just what I've always played. So.
It sounded like the most exciting thing about the home run for Bryce Harper was the ovation he got after it here from the crowd at Nats Park. He said, he wasn't sure if he wanted to go out and wave or what he was going to do. It's just maybe stay in the dugout. But the veteran guy said, go get up there, wave your hat, and say thanks to the crowd for supporting you.
And we were talking about the curtain call today before the game, and it was almost like that's something that he practiced in his apartment. I mean, he nailed it. He came out, pointed all the right directions. And just for the record, he got around the bases in 17.07 seconds.
Good for him.
Put your head down, get around. I used to do the same thing. I wanted to get in the book so nobody could take it away from me.
Act like you've done it before. Well, now he has, at least at this level. And after a routine fly ball from the bat of Yonder Alonso, Orlando Hudson takes a strike. Steven Strasburg, 53 pitches in the first 2 innings, but a 14-pitch second hopefully gets him going today. And there's another strike on the inside corner.
That's the best pitch of the day from Strasburg. 97 on the black, a little tailback fastball. Down in the zone, got it right to where he wanted.
Little half swing. Stevens going to barehand it. Plenty of time to LaRoche. 2 down. Now he's retired. 6 of the last 7 batters since John Baker's rain-delayed 2-run single. Tomorrow night, the Pirates are here, and it'll be $5 beer and peanuts night. Eric Bedard against Gio Gonzalez. You can buy a beer and peanuts for $5. Nationals.com/specials. Some restrictions apply while supplies last. Peanuts will be going quickly tomorrow. We can guarantee you that.
And I'll be throwing them out of the booth.
That game will be a shell of this one. Crickets.
I'm sorry. I couldn't even muster a fake laugh on that one.
I will be here all week.
I tried. It just didn't come out.
James Darnell walked his first time up. That was a damaging walk. Loaded the bases ahead of Baker's single. And there's the home run to left field. We told you Darnell can hit. And that is, I believe, I'll look it up here quickly, his first major league home run. Now, he had 1 last year, so that's number 2. 1 homer in 18 games. This guy hit 63 home runs in the minor leagues, and they have to like his bat for an offense starved for power.
And right after, it seemed like Strasburg locked it into Orlando Hudson. He left a 2-seam fastball out over the plate, and that's not a cheapie, folks. Watch where this one lands. Got on top of 95 and hit it a ton. And that was more than halfway up the bleachers in left field.
3rd home run Strasburg's given up, and the Padres lead 4-0. That's only the 19th home run given up by the Nats staff in 37 games. Busted bat, and that'll hook foul off the bat of John Baker.
And quick point, when you're throwing 97, 98, you can make a mistake like that and get away with it. That pitch was 95, and it was supposed to be away. It ran back on the inner half, and he was ready for the fastball, all over the fastball, and crushed the mistake from Strasburg.
James Darnell, 25 years old, out of the University of South Carolina. 2nd-round pick 4 years ago. They may need to find that left fielder some playing time because he's got pop. And the 0-2 to Baker. So the first 52 minutes of this one haven't gone very well. Padres 3 runs in the first around a slight rain delay of 8 minutes. Steven Strasburg damaging 2 walks. A badly played ball by Bernardina and Anquillo fell in, and that opened the floodgates for a 3-run first. 0-2 pitch. Got him down and away. Strasburg gives up the home run. He will bat 3rd, bottom of the 3rd. coming up. For a smoother pour. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. Bottom of the third coming up. Ankiel, Flores, and Strasburg. 4-0 Padres as James Darnell goes deep for the first time this year. Second time in his career. Our minor league report, Corey Brown is one of those left-handed batters really hot at Syracuse. Xavier Paul is the other. Martian, who we saw in spring training, is the other. And Davey Johnson said before the game today, suddenly the Nationals have left-handed hitting all over the place with Bernardino, LaRoche, and Ankiel up here. Espinosa, the switch hitter, of course. Good thing to have. And that's our PNC minor league report. PNC Bank, for the achiever in you. Solutions that help you achieve your financial goals.
Watched that game in Syracuse yesterday. Corey Brown had a home run. The boys are raking down there, swinging the bats well.
Corey Brown, part of the Willingham deal that sent Josh to the A's and Henry Rodriguez here. That's a strike. 20 pitches, 12 strikes, first 2 innings for Anthony Bass. Rick Ankiel sitting .316 over his last 11 games. Batting average just under .270. 85 on that breaker. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And that's a slider from Bass. It's a good one. A tight, short little slider. Watched a lot of video before the game, and that's his best pitch. You can locate the fastball, but if the slider's good, it's a tough go.
And Rick always susceptible to the high fastball when it's a 2-strike count. First K for Anthony Bass today. Here's our next 5 on the homestand. Pirates are here tomorrow night. Gio and Eric Bedard. Jordan Zimmerman, James McDonald on Thursday. And then the Orioles come in for a Friday night game. Saturday night, Fox will carry that. And the Orioles will wrap it up here on Sunday. And our friends from DC 50 will join us at 1:30 on Sunday afternoon. Jesus Flores is the hitter.
And you'll be doing that Fox game Saturday night, Cart, play-by-play.
With Billy Ripken.
You finally get a real partner.
It'll be a come down for me, I'm sure. Billy's a good broadcaster. He'll give the Baltimore angle. Hopefully we'll be fair and balanced, right?
Absolutely not.
Right field. You're going to get me fired before I say ball 1. Flores flies out to Will Venable, and Steven Strasburg will be the hitter.
Well, I'll be in the bleachers. I won't be watching you on TV. I'll be out there with the people, hanging out, having a good time.
Don't you dare let me find out where you're sitting. I'll tell our director.
I'll text you.
See that guy with his hat backwards?
See that guy in the helmet with the beer holders in it and the straws?
That's not FP. Steven Strasburg, 4 for 13 this year. He's 5 out of 39 career with an RBI. He's had some good swings this year.
A 300 hitter.
3 doubles of his 4 hits. Breaking ball, that's hard to hit. And the count 1-2. Nats do not have a hit yet. First time through the batting order. And that will be the case going into the 4th inning. Anthony Bass has faced the minimum 9 hitters so far. Now, enjoy a new way to watch TV with Cox TV Connect on your iPad. John Baker, that big hit in the first inning after the Nats let the fly ball fall. Then Will Venable, he's had a couple of doubles. Crazy, bizarre first inning.
Weird, strange, never seen it happen before. You know, first hit of the game, a double that bloops in between 3 guys all looking at each other. That was weird. All of a sudden you got a rain delay for 8 minutes. That was weird. Then you take the tarp off and the umpires are still having a hot dog. That was weird. And a 3-2 fastball singled up the middle for a couple of more runs. When Steven Strasburg was driving to the ballpark today, he never thought in his wildest dreams that that would be the first inning.
By the way, Venable had a double and triple. It was after the triple he did not score. So top of the 4th now, Andy Perino, the number 8 hitter. Strasburg flew him out to center to end that bizarre first inning. Then the pitcher Bass, then the top of the order with Will Venable.
I mean, just like we called it before the game, right? Anthony Bass with a no-hitter through 3 and Steven Strasburg giving up 4 runs.
Oh, really? Okay, I must have heard it backwards. I'm sorry.
Long way to go in this ball game.
Oh, yeah. But it's important Steven keep it at 4. No balls and 2 strikes. He has struck out 4 today. Strasburg, of course, San Diego guy out of West Hills High School. San Diego State alum, played for Tony Gwynn. And the 0-2. Had him reaching. Adam LaRoche will take care of this one himself for the first out. Next up will be Anthony Bass. Nice crowd on hand today for a 1 o'clock game on a Tuesday. Announced crowd of 19,434 last night. We couldn't see a lot of them because they were back sitting under the overhangs. But now that the rain is gone, fans enjoying a nice afternoon here. They just want to see some changes on that scoreboard. Fastball whistles in for a strike to the opposing pitcher. Struck out swinging on 3 pitches. First time up. And he goes with a breaking ball and misses upstairs.
And that's kind of been the breaking ball for Steven today. And usually that thing has some serious bite to it, but today it's kind of been a little bit of a roller, and that's going to happen.
2 of the pitchers in the league with the lowest ERAs in day games. Chris Capuano, Aroldis Chapman, and Wade Miley all 0-0-0. That was low and evidently no swing. Strasburg 0.47 coming in. Bass 0.66. And that's why you play your left fielder right in the gap in this ballpark. That's a double just about anywhere. Pretty good swing by the opposing pitcher. Pick 4 games on a flex plan. We'll give you 1 more free. And packages starting as low as $60. Check it out at nationals.com/flex. Ignite your natitude with a 5-game flex plan. Some restrictions do apply. 2 outs, 4th inning. Will Venable, the hitter, 2 for 2.
Hey, coming into today's game, Will Venables hit safely in 22 of 24, so make it 23 of 25 starts this season.
Wow. By the way, the Padres still waiting for some offense. Carlos Quentin coming off knee surgery. They expect to have him back soon. And I have a feeling that left fielder, James Darnell, is going to have some more playing time here soon. Well, Steven just cannot get a 1-2-3 inning today on a base hit to left field. Will Venable now is a home run away from the cycle already.
And just a 4th inning, so he's going to have a couple, 2-3 more tries at it.
We are told the Padres have never had a hitter hit for the cycle.
Wow.
Venable, by the way, only 1 home run on the year, so that'll be a challenge for him to hit 1 out. And the next hitter will be the center fielder, Cameron Maybin.
I mean, that's crazy when you think about Ken Caminiti, Tony Gwynn.
Dave Winfield was there. He had power and speed.
Steve Garvey.
Another base hit. Cameron Maybin hammers a first pitch fastball. 2 more hits for the Padres here. They have 7 on the day. And now Chase Headley coming up.
See, that's a case where a guy that struck out twice in Cameron Maybin, both on off-speed pitches, there's no way in the world he wants to get to a 2-strike count again. And there's no way in the world he wants to see an off-speed pitch again. So what's he do? Swings at a first-pitch fastball. I mean, I would have done the same thing right there. There's no way you get to a 2-strike count. Steve McCaddy going to come out one more time and talk to Steven Strasburg.
Steven Strasburg, whose pitch count is now in the mid-70 range.
And there's some action in the Nats bullpen. Tom Gorzolani getting hot. And this might be a case of, hey, live to fight another day. Steven Strasburg's been scuffling today. Had a rough first inning, maybe not all his fault, to where you strike out 13 guys the time before. You start thinking about 5 days from now rather than banging your head against the wall trying to keep this game at 4-0. I mean, he gave you everything he had last start in Pittsburgh. Today it's just not going his way in a number of different areas. So why not? Just get through this inning, call it a day, and go get him in 5. There is no shame in that at all.
Nationals still plenty of time to come back in this game. Their bats have been making lots of noise lately. Not so far today, but 6 innings left. Now this is a very important out. Don't want to fall more than 4 runs behind. Oh my gosh, what a jump. No throw, double steal. Will Venable could have walked to third base.
Check out the jump from Venable. Strasburg doesn't even look once. 2 strikes, focus on getting the hitter out. Excuse me, 2 outs, focused on getting the hitter out. And now he finds himself behind in a 2-0 count.
Padres, the second best running team in the league to the Marlins. And Steven will slip that one by, 87 away from the left-handed batter. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And usually the steal of third with 2 outs to me is useless, but when you have a trail runner that can also get into scoring position, it's a very valuable play.
So that was Maybin's 11th. He's one of the top base stealers in the league. And for Venable, his 5th.
And pitch number 81 coming. Bud Black is excited about the way his team is swinging the bats today. 4-0 lead here in the 4th. But all of a sudden, this becomes a big pitch for Strasburg. Maybe his last of the game if he can get him out.
That is on the corner, strike 3. Great time for strikeout number 5. The Nats have the top of the order coming up in the 4th. Bernardina after Desmond and before Zimmerman. And with those big heads all together, Abe, Tom, Teddy go down, George Washington wins it. Ian Desmond 0 for 1 today, coming off a 3-hit, 2-run, 2 RBI night last evening.
Oh, base up, hit up the middle right there. And then this one, the big blow to right center field. We thought it was a home run originally, and then we looked at it a couple more times, hit off the top of the fence, the green strip above the scoreboard in right center field. Almost knocked down the scoreboard. It was a serious missile the other way.
Ian Desmond's on a 4-game hitting streak, and now it's a 5-game hitting streak. He got an off-speed pitch. That ball hit a puddle and stopped, and I thought he might try to go to second. On the first bounce, it just hit a wet spot and almost stopped. So Ian Desmond's aboard Nationals. By the way, there goes the what?
No-hitter.
All right.
That's a good uni for Ian Desmond he's got working right now. Absolutely muddy. Little splash down right there on the linea. And there goes a no-hitter. That's a good uni, folks. That makes me want to just go dive in a mud puddle with my suit on right now.
I thought you just got that suit delivered today.
I did, but I still want to go dive out there in the dirt.
Okay. A man who will get a new suit for any occasion, celebrating his first ever Tuesday day game as a broadcaster.
That's right. It might be, huh?
I can't remember one except at Chicago years ago.
Well, it's not a bad idea. Look at the crowd here today. They're into it.
They like day baseball.
They're ready to cheer for something.
Ian Desmond, 2 for 3 stealing bases. But the Nats are down by 4, and they've got the big guns coming up. So you can't afford to lose any base runners here. Bernardina's at bat may be the key to the whole inning.
Good call.
Tried to bunt his way on first time. Way out ahead of that one. No balls, 2 strikes. So Ryan Zimmerman, then Adam LaRoche. Bernardina's going to jump back from that. Roger's been so much more selective over the last half dozen 10 ball games because he's getting repetitions in there. And there he is, 5 out of his last 12. And over his 5-game hitting streak, he's 8 for 21.
You get a chance to play, the game slows down. It's that simple. You get in there every day. You're not pressing. You're relaxed. You get a few hits.
Off-speed pitch, 86, and the strikeout. Strikeout number 3 for Anthony Bass. He's now fanned 3 of the last 4 men he's retired. We'll check it on the Nissan pitch track.
I just keep having flashbacks to Tim Lincecum. I've never seen anybody imitate a guy so perfectly at the big league level. I mean, whether he's in the stretch, in the windup, the delivery, the slide across the mound, the ball behind his back. I mean, it's like watching Lincecum, only he grew 5 inches.
Check out Nissan's National Tent event for a limited time. Bonus cash on Altima and Rogue. Visit choosenissan.com or your local dealer.
Grew 5 inches, gained about 15 pounds, and got a haircut.
Ryan Zimmerman pulled the ball, bounced out to Chase Headley at third, first time up. Ryan Zimmerman down and in, up and away, middle in, out, or over. Pretty good against the Padres in his career. Doesn't like the fastball up and in or anything down and away.
Maybe he hasn't got one there. Could be 0 for 0.
With a 4-run lead, Anthony Bass fairly obsessed with Ian Desmond at first base.
Yeah, that's just, I mean, you still have to run if you're down 4-0, but you better make it. But to be so concerned about a guy with a 4-run lead, that's good for the Nationals. Worry about him and maybe you hang something.
Runner goes. Pitch is a strike, and Desmond is in there easily. His biggest challenge was not oversliding the bag. And for Ian, he's 3 out of 4 this year.
He got a tremendous jump right there. And if you steal down 4-0, even though it's a 4th inning, you got to make it. Little peek right there to see if the ball was put in play, and that bag was absolutely ripped by Desmond. I mean, you still play your game. If you're down by 4 runs in the 7th, 8th, or 9th, yeah, you shut down the running game. You play station to station. You're looking for a big fly to get you back into the baseball game. But this early, why not? Do your thing. Try to get back into the game.
1-2 to Zimmerman. He'll take it outside, ball 2. Ryan, by the way, this year, after being walked 3 times last night, has walked as many times as he struck out, 15 and 15. For any guy who hits for power, that's a wonderful ratio. Oh, he had a good rip right on that one. Straight back it goes.
And that was a mistake with 2 strikes from Bass. Maybe the first one he's made all day. Pitch up in the zone. Zimmerman all over it. Fouled it straight back. I'll doubt if he get a fastball after that swing. Usually that'll buy you a slider away every time. Check out the location of this fastball. Up in his eyes. Good hack all over it. And he wants that one right back, but I don't think he's going to get it.
2-2 pitch, hit hard right at Orlando Hudson. Desmond over to third, 2 outs.
But see, that's what a good hitter does. I mean, even though he didn't get a base hit right there, that ball was absolutely scalded to Orlando Hudson. When you foul a pitch straight back, if we know it up here that you were right on it, he knows he was right on it. So why would you look for the same pitch again? You start thinking about, there's no way he throws me that. What is he going to throw me? And he was all over that slider. Just didn't find a hole.
2-out RBI opportunity now for Adam LaRoche. Adam increasing his on-base percentage of .417 with a walk to lead off the second inning. That ball's well hit to right. Backing up and grabbing it, Will Venable. The Nats hit into some hard luck in the 4th inning. On to the 5th. San Diego on top 4-0. AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Navy Federal Credit Union, serving the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, the Department of Defense, and their families. Federally insured by NCUA. Well, some of the monuments to years past here behind Nationals Park. Good crowd on hand today, waiting for a reason to put down the treat and get up out of their seats. Good to have you there, young man. And here's Tom Gorzolani. Steven Strasburg is done after 4 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, a couple of walks, and 5 strikeouts. And if memory serves correctly, other than when he was first coming back from the Tommy John surgery, that would have to be his shortest career outing.
And for Gorzolani, you see the batting averages against. Probably not where he wants him, especially against lefties. But he's a 3-pitch guy. Fastball, slider, change. Used to throw a curveball. He scrapped that. So just 3 pitches.
So Strasburg had 2 outings last year when he first came back to the big leagues of 4 innings and 3 innings. But now, after being considered 100% healthy, this would be the shortest. Yonder Alonso, lefty-lefty matchup here. Out to left field. Roger Bernardina has it slicing right back to him. 1 out. That'll bring in Orlando Hudson and James Darnell.
Yeah, for Tom Gorzolani, that left-handed batting average against, 364 last year, did such a good job against lefties, and I feel like he's done a decent job this year. But they've been getting some hits against him, and I think last year he was so good at throwing that slider for a strike to get ahead and then expanding the slider away in a 2-strike count. He got a lot of swing through strike 3s on showing the slider early for a strike, then showing it for a ball, making it appear to be a strike in a 2-strike count. And he's just had a couple of bad innings. And as a reliever, when you have a couple of bad innings, it stays with you all year long. It's hard to get that ERA down.
Yeah.
It's hard to get that batting average against down, because it's not like you have 7 or 8 innings in one start to get all those numbers down. And when you have a veteran guy like Gorzelani, who has track record, proven he can get the job done, you just got to go by what you see on that day with your eyes. Kind of throw the stats out the window.
Last time he faced the Padres, he had a 3-inning save in San Diego. And by the way, since he went to the bullpen in July of last year, 3-1 with a 3.47 ERA. Took a little bit off, missed outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Orlando Hudson. Not a matchup that works in Orlando's favor. The switch hitter of those right-handed at bats. Retired 11 of 12 times. Little dunker. Harper broke back and then couldn't recover. Guy takes a big swing and then he drops one about 80 feet in front of you. Couldn't make up all that distance. Well, as of Thursday night, the Nationals will be done with the Pirates and the Reds before they even see some of their fellow teams from the National League East. Crazy scheduling continues. Gio Gonzalez and Eric Bedard tomorrow night.
And Eric Bedard left that game against the Nationals last week with a strained back. It looks like he's okay. Not going to miss anything.
Gorzelani takes a long look at Hudson and then throws it by the swinging bat of James Darnell, who has walked and homered here today. Darnell, a Fresno native, went to San Ramon Valley High School. And as I mentioned, over 300 in his 4-year minor league career with power. Then he crossed country to go to the University of South Carolina. Padres took him in the 2nd round back in 08.
So I feel like this is the pivotal inning for the Nationals. If they're going to get back into this game, Tom Gorzelani has to get him back in the dugout. You got Bryce Harper leading off last inning. You had Ian Desmond, who hit the ball hard in the 4th. Zimmerman hit the ball hard. LaRoche lined out to right. And you get the sense that maybe Anthony Bass is getting a little bit tired out there, or they're starting to figure him out. So if you can keep this game at 4-0, get your ball club back in the dugout, get Bryce Harper to the plate, you got a chance to get back in this game.
Well, and when you're 22-13, you feel like you're going to win the game down to the last out. When you're 12-24, you're like, man, I hope we can hold on to this one.
Absolutely.
So that's probably the feeling in the third base dugout. 2 teams heading in different directions, but it's the Padres with the advantage today. We'll see how it all shakes out.
Anthony Bass pitching a good game so far, but I feel like just the little things I saw last inning, you might be starting to figure him out, and I think getting him into the stretch is key. He's been real comfortable in that windup all day, but if you can get him in the stretch early next inning, maybe you got a chance.
John Baker, who, by the way, was 0 for 1 career against Strasburg coming in. He's the only Padre batter who had ever seen Steven, and that was with Florida. Good jump by the base runner. Bouncing ball to Desmond. He'll take it on the backhand side and fire over to LaRoche for the 2nd out. This day in history from Ocean City, Maryland. Go to OCOcean.com. Click on Summer of Thanks for special deals and discounts. The Big Train. He pitched 2 complete games in one day.
Come on.
A 1-0 win against the White Sox. And Lefty Williams went 18 for the Sox. A tough luck loss. They should have given them both 2 complete games for that.
I want somebody to find me a pitch count.
I had the Big Train at 284 and Lefty Williams at 283. I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was biting right there. I thought, wow.
Hey, that might be close. Whoever heard of a pitch count back then?
If you were the pitcher, you were like the shortstop. That was your position.
Look at this. Every time the Padres need a hit, they get it. A jam job, and John Baker, hitting 143 at the start of the day, has 3 RBIs.
Yeah, that one hurts. Right when you're thinking this game's going to stay at 4-0, and the Nats have a chance with one swing to get back into it, meaning a grand slam. The 5th run crosses the plate for the Padres. Another pitch up. Baker got on top of it. Little RBI piece, scoring Orlando Hudson 5-0.
2 more hits for the Padres. They've hit the Nats 9-1 today. Right side, Danny Espinosa to his left. That's it for the 5th inning. Harper followed by Espinosa and Ankiel, but now the Nats are down 5. Anticipation after a nice win last night, but it fell apart in a hurry, mainly because a catchable fly ball fell down, and the Padres haven't looked back since. So when you're out of the DC area, take the Nats with you every time you want to watch some baseball. Every game live online on your favorite device in HD quality. It's called MLB.tv. Visit Nationals.com for more details and to order MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere.
42 pitches through 4 innings. Wow.
Yeah, he's on pace for like a 95 pitch complete game. Harper, Espinosa, and Ankiel. Anthony Bass, this is only his 10th major league start. His 36th appearance, career record of 3-4 with a 2.37 ERA coming in. Harper lined out hard to right field with 1 out, actually 1 on, nobody out in the 2nd. Adam LaRoche had walked. That and Ian Desmond's single and steal of 2nd in the 4th. That's it for the offense today. High drive, deep right center. Does he do it again? That's number 2. And Bryce Harper gets the Nats on the board.
Well, you got the feeling that Bass is either getting tired or the Nats are figuring him out. A lot of hard hit balls in the 4th inning leads to the 2nd career home run for Bryce Harper in the 5th inning. I mean, the trajectory of that ball, you don't see that very often. It looked like a pop-up to center field, and it just kept carrying. A lot of backspin created. A lot of torque in that swing.
Danny Espinosa will be next. Nationals hit their 31st homer of the year, and now that's 18 in the last 13 games.
I think more importantly than the home run, it got the crowd into this baseball game. All of a sudden, Nats on the board, 2nd hit of the day, and he gets a heater up, and just so quiet with the lower half, good extension, violent swing, and I think it looked like Larry Bird caught the home run. There he is. Larry Legend. Do it all.
He not only gets the assist and he can score baskets, but he can grab them as well. Well, let's see how the Nats can follow it up here in the 5th. Danny Espinosa has a 6-game hitting streak on the line today.
We talked about it a lot last night with Bryce Harper. He's going to have an impact on the game every single day. I mean, you never know what you're going to see with this kid when you come out to the ballpark. Could be a home run, could be a great throw, could be a steal of home, could be a missed fly ball, could be a great diving play in the outfield. I mean, every day the guy does something to light the crowd up. More times than not, it's a good thing. But he's just such an exciting player to watch. He's good for the Nationals, but I think more importantly, he's good for baseball, period. I mean, a 19-year-old doing what he's doing, playing as hard as he plays, playing as well as he plays, it's just good for the game, period.
How many kids that age can do anywhere near that when they're not holding an aluminum bat?
None. That's why it's such a big deal.
One ball, one strike to Ankiel, who struck out swinging first time.
Give Anthony Bass some credit. After giving up that monster bomb, he went right back in the strike zone, struck out Espinosa, and finds himself ahead in the count 1-2 to Rick Ankiel.
And Rick Ankiel on a breaking ball in the dirt strikes out. That'll be K number 5 for Anthony Bass. Bases empty, 2 outs for the catcher, Jesus Flores, who flied to right first time. This one over by the dugout might be playable. And grabbed on a one-hander by Yonder Alonso. After the Bryce Harper homer, the inning goes in a hurry. Harper, home run streak now, 2 consecutive games, both of them pretty much straight away. Gets the Nats on the board for run game again, and still plenty of time to make the comeback. Just had a thought that maybe by the time Michael Morse gets back, he might be challenging Adam LaRoche for the team lead in home runs.
Well, that just sounds good having Michael Morse back.
Yeah.
Hey, can you imagine a lineup with Bryce Harper, Michael Morse, Jason Worth, Adam LaRoche? Easy for me to say, Ryan Zimmerman. I mean, that's a good lineup. But right now, Bam Bam getting the job done. A couple of home runs in back-to-back days. And we talked about the calm before the storm. He had an 0 for 4 the other night where we could tell that his feet were slowing down. He wasn't leg kicking, jumping out there. Hit a couple of balls hard that night. A 2-hit night in Cincinnati, a home run last night, a home run today. So he's figured it out. He's made the adjustments, and you're seeing the results.
Yeah, 0 for 9 in that Cincinnati series. And obviously a night of frustration on Friday before he got things going. Tom Gorzolani, another inning of work. Just good to be home, to have Michael Morse and Jason Worth hanging out with the guys, to be seen in the clubhouse and in the dugout.
Maybe in his Hall of Fame induction speech, Bryce Harper can thank the wall in Cincinnati for locking him in.
Maybe they'll bring a portion of it along.
Yeah. The legendary dugout/tunnel wall in the Great American Ballpark locked Bryce Harper in.
Anthony Bass is the leadoff man as we check the Padres box score. 3 runs, 3 hits in the first. Everything but a homer for Will Venable. He's got a couple of at-bats left to go for a cycle today. Not that you ever go for a home run, but they are ahead by 4. He might take a shot on a couple of pitches. And John Baker, the number 7 hitter, the catcher, 2 hits and 3 RBIs.
Oh, you got to go for the home run. You got to let it fly. Are you kidding me?
Gorzolani with a good changeup, and that'll be it for the pitcher. First K for the Nats left-hander. And here comes Will Venable.
If he knows he needs a home run. I had a home run, a single, a double in Colorado one day. We were beating the Rockies 21-something. And I hit a ball down the right field corner needing a triple for the cycle. And I stopped at second base. It would have been a stand-up triple with a turn. And I didn't know I needed a triple for the cycle. That's all I knew is I wanted to get another hit. And obviously, I've gotten over it.
That's only about the 4th time you've brought it up this year. Gorzolani has Venable all locked up. And the count's 0-2. Boy, if Venable gets the cycle, he could tell his kids and grandkids he got 3/4 of it against Steven Strasburg.
That's a pretty good story.
Now the 0-2.
And Venable's hitting .261 against lefties this year, 6 for 23. Last year he hit .212, 43 for 203. So he's seeing lefties much better in 2012.
Swing and a miss. Then he can tell him some fireballer named Gorzolani kept me from doing that.
But that's just what I was talking about, Tom Gorzolani versus lefties last year. That was pitcher perfect. You throw the slider for a strike, and then you expand away and throw it for a ball. We saw a number of strikeouts from Gorzolani last year against lefties with that same repertoire right there. Throw it for a strike, make him think it's a strike, and break it off the plate for a swing through strike 3. Nice job.
Cameron Maben will be the next hitter. Had a base hit and a steal last time up. 1 for 3. And in the series, 1 for 7 with a walk. Maben thought he was on that pitch. It had some last-second tail to it. Pitcher spot due to lead off. Bottom 6 for the Nats. So Tom trying to work through 2 innings here before they hit for him. And he blows the fastball by Maben at 92.
And when he's good, he's sneaky fast. The fastball, say 91, but it's got good life to it. But if you look at Gorzolani's season so far, he hasn't done a bad job. Just that one outing, April 19th against Houston, where he gave up 8 hits and 6 runs in 2 innings. And as a reliever, that's a tough one to come back from. All of a sudden, your ERA is 0. It jumps up to 7.36 that out, and he's got it all the way back down to 5.14 coming into today. But you have one bad outing as a guy that pitches once a week or once every 5 or 6 days. It'll take you all season to get your ERA back to where you want it.
And a fly ball right field. Harper circles behind it, and then he's under it near the line. And the Nats have grabbed a little bit of momentum here. Can they get this thing turned around? Tom Gorzelani is going to lead off the bottom of the 6th. We'll keep you posted on what's going on here and tell you about what's going on in Woodbridge, just on I-95 at Fitzner Stadium, the Potomac Nationals. Check them out at 703-590-2311 or PotomacNationals.com for ticket promotion and fun information from the ballpark.
You might need to see the Nats of today at Potomac with the injuries they've been having.
That gentleman munching on the hot dog is our great old friend, and I emphasize great and old, Bob Geller, a long time on our crew. He just retired, last year? And nice to see Bob at the ballpark working a little less harder than some of our folks he used to work with.
Well, he looks like he's working hard. He's just on that hot dog.
Look at Gorzelani. It falls in. Davey Johnson lets him bat. So evidently he's not done pitching today, and he's not done swinging the bat as well.
Well, I just don't think Davey Johnson wants to fire through his whole bullpen today. He talks about learning how to lose, and that's one thing he had to do as a manager. Not that they're going to lose this game, but sometimes you sacrifice a game early in the week to win a game later in the week. And with Tom Gorzelani out there, he's just hoping that he can keep him right there. His team can get back in this game. But the last thing you want to do is go through your whole bullpen when you're down by 4 runs. So I think that's a great move to leave Gorzelani in the game. He's got to get some innings out of him.
By the way, Tom Gorzelani leading the league in hitting for batters with a minimum 2 at-bats. He's 2 for 2 this year.
It's raking.
How about that?
There's a lot of pressure to hit on this team if you're a pitcher. Hey, you can't just go up there and look silly. You got guys in the dugout that can hit. They're looking at you. So now the pressure's on you to perform.
I've seen that guy swing a golf club. He's got a beautiful swing, and he's a good athlete. And now things get interesting. Maybe that rattles Anthony Bass here a bit.
Well, I said the key is getting him in the stretch, and now he's in the stretch. When Desmond led off the 4th, all of a sudden he was leaving stuff up to Zimmerman and LaRoche in the stretch. You know, Bryce Harper hit a quick strike homer in the 5th, so never in the stretch. Struck out Espinoza, struck out Ankiel, got Flores to pop up to first base. But now all of a sudden, a simple swing of the bat by Tom Gorzelani gets Bass in the stretch, and the Padres bullpen is getting loose.
Two 2-0 to Desmond, who has to be smart here. Ian is such an aggressive hitter. So the Nats box. No hits till the 4th inning when Desmond led off with a base hit, stole second, stranded at 3rd. Harper led off the 5th with his 2nd career home run. And now Tom Gorzelani flares one in to start the 6th inning. Two 2-1 to Desmond. He'll look it in. 2-2.
And that was a good pitch from Anthony Bass. 2-1 fastball. You're behind the count. You got to locate it. And he threw a turbo sinker. Started off the plate away. Ran it back. Look at the movement on that pitch. Almost like a 91 mile an hour, 92 mile an hour screwball.
2-2, target inner half. Desmond will hack it and foul it off the ground, then his foot. So Ian Desmond has a 5-game hitting streak. He's 9 for his last 23. Batting .391 during the streak. Roger Bernardina next here in the 6th inning. Base hit right field. Great swing by Desmond, who stays on the ball, and he has his 14th multi-hit game of the year. How about the Nats with the pitcher leading off suddenly in business here in the 6th inning?
Yeah, 3 hits last night for Desmond, a double and 2 singles. And how about today? A couple of knocks for Ian. He broke up the no-hitter in the 4th inning. A great job of 2-strike hitting right there. He took a chance in a 2-0 count to make this a 5-3 game. Fouled it straight back. Got himself into a 2-strike count on a nasty 2-1 sinker from Bass. And that's just good fighting right there.
And now hitting .417 during his hitting streak. Roger Bernardina's hit the ball on the ground with a bunt and struck out. So as I said back in the 4th inning, with Desmond aboard, and in this case also Gorzolani, his at bat might be the key to the inning. That time he struck out, and then Zimmerman and LaRoche were soon retired, albeit on well hit balls.
Do you bunt right here down by 4 runs?
No sign of it there.
And there's 2 schools of thought right here. You lay one down and you play for a 5-3 game with your 3 and 4 hitters coming up. Or you got a guy struggling right now and you keep the line moving with a base hit.
If he does lay one down, maybe he tries to pull it because Alonso's back at first.
I just don't think he's seeing Bass very well today. He's had a couple of tough swings off him. Last time up he struck out. First time up he tried a bunt to Chase Headley at third base, and I'd be okay if he laid one down right here. Would be a productive out.
Yeah, Davey could change his mind based on that swing, couldn't he?
Absolutely. Or you just do it on your own. You know, I always had the green light when I was hitting second to do it on my own. But you do the whole sacrifice bunt really nicely, and if it works out for you, you get a hit on top of it.
No bunt now with 2 strikes. The Nats are battling back now. 4 hits over the last 3 innings. Ryan Zimmerman, couple of ground balls today, is next. And Bernardina jumps back from that fastball inside.
See, that's just a show-me fastball right there. I'm sure John Baker's going to go back to that slider off that pitch, trying to make Bernardino wear the fastball in. You think to yourself, that just missed. I got to start early and maybe cheat a little bit with my swing to get to that inside fastball. It sets up the off speed.
He misses inside again.
That was a good pitch. He wanted it too. You saw the body language from Anthony Bass right there. He wanted that pitch.
Yeah, he's probably figuring, I've been around for 6 innings. I should get that.
Well, all of a sudden, in a 5-1 game, this pitch becomes huge.
Absolutely. Pitcher running, you wouldn't expect the runners to be doing anything here with Zimmerman coming. 3-2 pitch. Bernardina strikes out. He finally threw him that hard breaker down and in. Strikeout number 6, Bernardina twice.
As a left-handed hitter, when you see that fastball in, you're thinking, I got to get to it, and I think that's what happened to Bernardina. Let's check out the sequence. Fastball down, 91. Then there's the first slider in a 1-0 count. He's thinking, I'm getting a fastball. Thinking he's getting another fastball, gets a slider. Show him a fastball off the plate. Try to go for the punch-out 2-seamer. And he goes the 3-2 slider on his back knee, and if only Anthony Bass worked that fast in real life.
Six strikeouts, just 1 walk. That was LaRoche back in the 2nd. He deleted that with a double play ball. Ryan Zimmerman, RBI here last night. Goes up swinging, and that's a double play ball. 2 on, nobody out, and that is it for the 6th inning. On to the 7th. San Diego still enjoys a 4-run lead. Mason, who but W.B. Mason. Frustrating day for the Nats. They've only stranded 2 runners. Haven't had that many, but they've lost 2 others on double play balls. So tomorrow night, the battling Buccos come to town. Eric Bedard left in the top of the 2nd against Washington last week. With back spasms, he's 2-4 with a 2.57 ERA. Gio Gonzalez is 2-0 with an 0.43 ERA in 3 starts at Nationals Park. 4-1 overall. That's extra. Johnny and Ray. 6:30. FP and I join you from our lofty perch at 7. First pitch from Gio, right around 7:05. Another 2-game series. This year, the Nationals will play the Baltimore Orioles more than they play the Pittsburgh Pirates in their own league.
Don't get me going.
And the San Diego Padres.
Not a fan of the 2-game series at all, especially when you're on the road.
Well, and it's extra travel. And the Padres are flying home tonight. They have an afternoon game in downtown San Diego tomorrow.
Part of the beauty of baseball is the 3-game, 4-game series, to where in that 3rd and 4th game you really know your opponent and you really have to battle to get that W, because you've seen the hitters for 2 days, you've seen the hitters for 3 days, you've seen the bullpen, and now that 3rd or 4th game you really have an edge, or you should if you've done your homework the first couple of games, and that's when you see the last games of a series really become a battle. But when it's a 2-game series, the Padres haven't even unpacked in their hotel right now.
Yeah, at this time yesterday, the teams hadn't played a game yet in this series. Here they are about to say adios. Chase Headley 0 for 2 with a walk. And then the other thing you find out, FP, about those series, whether they're 3 games or 4 gamers, the nature of this game makes it so hard to sweep. The Nats had everything going in their favor on Sunday. They're about to win at Cincinnati 3 in a row, and boom, look what happens. You just never know. But in a 2-game series, I think the big thing is in a 2-game series, there's no what they call rubber game.
Right.
Which we always have fun with.
Well, in that Cincinnati series, they had seen Henry Rodriguez already. And maybe you pick something up on a reliever. Maybe he's tipping his pitches. Maybe you get something in his delivery to where when you face him again, you take certain pitches because you know they're coming.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that was the case with Henry, but in a 3 or a 4-game series, when you're playing a team, you pick up stuff like that in the course of the series.
Tom Gorzolani, 3rd inning of work. He's done this before against the Padres. 3 innings. That ball pretty well hit right field line, heading toward the pole and slicing just foul, hitting high up on the wall. Tom Gorzolani got a 3-inning save Wednesday, April 25th at the Padres. Even though the Nats won the game 7-2, he pitched the last 3 innings and gave San Diego 1 run on 3 hits. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
How about Ian Desmond? He started the game with his pants up, old school style, and his team is behind, so he switched out. And they were muddy too, so maybe he just went to the other pants.
He also changed his jersey.
He changed his whole uni.
You know, that uniform might have just gotten really heavy, especially that shirt as the day went on, because he made that diving attempt in the first inning on the base hit up the middle by John Baker, and he was mud caked, and maybe that jersey just became too much.
Absolutely. You have about 3 or 4 unis in your locker.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Gorzolani keeps pumping the ball into the strike zone, and that off-speed pitch fouled away. Yonder Alonso, Orlando Hudson to follow, top of the 7th. Phillies still ahead in their game. Bottom of the 7th up north, 3-1 over Houston. Only other game going on. The Cubs led early 3-0 at St. Louis. 4-3 Cardinals middle innings, and they're trying to break a 4-game losing streak. How about the Reds? They steal that game from the Nats on Sunday. They win yesterday, and now they're only a game and a half out of first.
Wow.
Amazing how things can turn around in an instant. Looks playable. Flores out there right near the on-deck circle, and that's the first out.
10-pitch battle won by Tom Gorzolani. Good fight by Chase Headley.
Tomorrow night, the Bucks and the Nats. Beer and peanuts, only $5. Some restrictions apply while supplies last. Drop by nationals.com/specials and check it out. Breaking ball misses. Front door breaking ball is in there.
Well, let's see if he goes to the slider away now. Usually when he gets strike one with the slider, he likes to expand in the outer half to lefties. There it is.
Yeah, just missed with it. Pretty good take by Alonso, who's had a good series. 3 for 6, 3 runs and RBI. Breaking ball, he waited for it. Hit it well out to center, but Rick Ankiel is cruising, waiting. 2 outs.
I'll tell you what, if the Nats win tomorrow night against Pittsburgh and their bullpen has anything to do with it, you could look back at today and Tom Gorzolani for the job he's doing right now against the Padres.
Yeah, good call. Eating up innings, 3 of them at least here. The role of a long man in a bullpen is an unheralded but very difficult role. You don't get credit for a whole lot when your team's trailing.
But you have the respect of your manager, your pitching coach, and all your teammates.
Absolutely. And we want to make sure you fans as well understand what Tom is doing out here today. Did get touched for a run in that first inning that he worked in the 5th. But he's been throwing strikes ever since, retiring the last 6 batters. And the base hit that John Baker got that drove in that run was a bloop over the second base area.
It's kind of like being a lineman in football.
Yeah.
Nobody notices you when you're doing your job good, but when you give it up or you have a penalty against you, everybody knows what you're doing. But Gorzolani's a lot like a lineman in football. He just comes in, gets the job done, doesn't want any credit, and helps everybody else out.
That'll be up and away, ball 3.
And he'll be super excited after the game that I compared him to an offensive lineman in the NFL.
3 balls, 1 strike. And he misses. He's not happy with himself. That'll bring in James Darnell, dangerous right-handed hitter. Suddenly. But I was looking over his minor league numbers this morning. Hit 300 almost every level at which he played. And I asked their fine TV analyst, Mark Grant, about him. He said, oh, yeah, he's highly regarded in the organization. And a ball club star for runs, star for power. The Padres are an organization of opportunity for offensive players, for sure.
Absolutely. You got a young team and a young ball club. Think back to the Expos days when we all came up. And if you're a young guy in an organization that's rebuilding, you have a great opportunity to establish yourself and to make a lot of money and to play in the league for a long time. Let's check out the home run back in the 3rd inning from Darnell. Only the 4th home run ever given up by a right-hander for Steven Strasburg. Gave one up to Hunter Pence, Dan Ugla, Carlos Ruiz. And add James Darnell to that list. He got on top of a high fastball.
Yeah, and as you noted, that ball was halfway up the seats toward the concourse.
That's where the big boys go.
Gorzelani suddenly having a hard time getting the ball back into the plate. Flying open some. And a visit from Jesus Flores, who's been known to get in the face of some of his battery mates.
Yeah, but he does it in a positive way, to where he's saying, hey, I got you. I'm seeing what you're doing. He's like a coach behind the plate. Talks about mechanics out there sometimes. Talks about how you feeling, what pitch is working. There's always communication going on with Jesus Flores. It's like having a captain on the field. He runs the show for sure, and you like that out of your catcher.
Ball 3.
A little bit of concern from those two guys all of a sudden. Now they're going to get Ryan Perry up. And after 52 pitches, you could make the argument that Tom Gorzelani might be hitting the wall. He hasn't thrown this many pitches in a long time.
Yeah, and they had Darnell swinging on 3-0, trying to deliver a getaway day knockout punch here for them. Padres just came from Philadelphia. Catcher John Baker's done plenty of damage today. They go home to face the Dodgers and the Angels. Strike. And that's a 2-game series with the Dodgers, a team from their own division.
I don't think there's any off days in the whole league, in all of baseball, I think, this week. Everybody's playing right through the week.
Interleague play gets underway Friday. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runner will be going. And Gorzelani will get a pop-up straight back. FP, you can sit down.
That's the first one that's ever come close.
That's not got no chance to get up here, but it is one of the closer ones I've ever seen. I've told you before, any ball that comes up here is going to have to say Titleist on it.
That's the first one that's made me get out of my seat. I was ready. Got my eye black on. I'm ready.
3-2. Again. Breaking ball gets him looking. Well done by Tom Gorzelani in 3 innings. LaRoche, Harper, and Espinoza coming up. 7th inning stretch brought to you by your Washington area Hyundai dealers. It's getting late. Some runs needed. 7th inning.
Time for your Cox game summary. It's been all about Bryce Harper and his solo home run for the Nationals today, but Will Venable having a nice day, just a home run shy of the cycle. And it just wasn't Steven Strasburg's day right from the first hitter of the game. But let's check out Bryce's home run one more time. Why not? He's been getting into some good counts. He's been seeing the ball well, and he gets a fastball up in the zone. And when you're a power hitter, that's where those fastballs go. Straightaway center field. Larry Bird with the catch. And Bryce Harper with his second home run in his many days. Enjoy a new way to watch TV with Cox TV. Connect on your iPad.
Well, now the breakthrough inning has to be the 7th. LaRoche, Harper, and Espinoza. Only 69 pitches. A very efficient 46 strikes for Anthony Bass through 6. So he's averaging between 11 and 12 pitches per inning through 6. One of his best games ever. In his 5 starts this year, he's gone 6 innings twice, 8 innings in a 3-1 loss at San Francisco, April 28th. He got through 8 innings that game with 90 pitches. So economics is one of his fortes.
Well, the Padres people were raving about Anthony Bass before the game, and I'm thinking to myself, he's given up 11 runs the last 2 games, 5 runs last game. But then I also saw that he had a rough one last game. I said, uh-oh. How many times have we seen that this year? A guy has a rough outing before he faces the Nats, and he's stronger because he didn't go deep into the game. And you give a major league pitcher 4 days to make the adjustments. They usually do.
Makes you wonder, based on the outing you're coming off of, how can a pitcher vary his routine to make sure he's strong enough that next time out?
Yeah.
There's got to be some new thought or some new science into that, because it certainly looks this year more than ever like your previous start has a lot to do with how you come out next time.
So the Orioles are in trouble on Sunday with Strasburg?
I would say so. Routine out on the shift, handled by Orlando Hudson.
Let's check out Anthony Bass's delivery. We've been talking about how much it looks like Tim Lincecum. A little slide over right there. The big leg kick, the ball cut behind him, the jump toward the hitter. I mean, that's just dead on. A little bit bigger. Less hair. You look at Lincecum too. Same thing, and he's copied Lincecum, and he's not afraid to say it.
Unbelievable how Lincecum gets that ball down almost behind his right knee, hamstring area, before he lets it go.
1 run on 4 hits. That's Lincecum like.
Harper sharply, Hudson 2 outs. Danny Espinoza will be next. Danny 0 for 2 today, and a 6-game hitting streak is on the line. That's an off-speed breaking ball. He has really worked well against the left-handers, Bernardina, Espinoza, and Ankiel today. And really Adam LaRoche, for that matter. Walked him once. Adam did line out sharply once. Espinoza thinking about dragging a bunt with Chase Headley way back. 29292. Text Nationals to that number for updates and alerts from Mass and Text Alerts. You can get starting lineups and in-game updates and stay up to date on your Nats.
Parked the car today. I'm walking out of the car, and one of the fans outside the players lot said, FP, what's the Nationals word of the day for the text alert? I said, it's Nationals every day. I said, it doesn't change.
We had some other ones a couple of weeks ago during a contest, though. We had Lincoln. And,
yeah, but for about a month now or more, it's been Nationals.
I know.
So I said, it's Bonehead today.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The rapport you have with our fans is just really, really impressive.
Watch the games. Come on.
Alonso to Bass. The Nats aren't biting Bass today, I'll tell you. 8th inning coming up. Masson brought to you by Dodge. Go to Dodge.com or visit your local Dodge dealer today. 8th inning rolls around here at Nationals Park. Nats will go deeper into their bullpen after 3 solid innings to keep the game reasonable by Tom Gorzolani. Call to the bullpen, packaged by the UPS store. We love logistics. And it'll be Ryan Perry, called up from Syracuse April 27th. Just 3 appearances since then. 1-0, 8 hits, 7 runs in 2 2/3 innings. 1 bad outing, as you mentioned, for a reliever, and you've got an inflated ERA for quite a while.
And that was May 6th against the Phillies. 2/3 of an inning, 5 hits, 6 runs, and they were all earned. But he's a 3-pitch guy. Fastball, slider, change. The fastball run up there in the mid-90s. So it's up to him to keep the Nationals within 1 swing of the bat.
Double switch for the Nats. Batting 9th and playing second base, Steve Lombardozzi, the pitcher, will be hitting in Danny Espinosa's spot. And for the Padres, John Baker, Andy Perino, and with no activity whatsoever in their bullpen, Anthony Bass, who has thrown only 80 pitches in 7 innings. Padres staff has 1 complete game this year, and guess who it's from? Anthony Bass. That 8-inning loss, and that's a fair ball that made contact with the ball girl, and that'll be a ground rule double.
She might have saved the Nats a triple. John Baker having some kind of day. His 3rd hit of the day, a couple of singles to go with a double. And if we're going to go out there, you got to make the play. You got to grab that ball, do a little reverse pivot, and try to throw him out at second base.
Andy Perino will be next, 0 for 3. John Baker, 3 for 4, came in hitting 143. And now he's 7 for 32. Goes up to 219. That's a fastball in there. And a strike called, 0-2.
I've seen managers play for that 5-run lead before, like it's a tie ball game. They have a 4-run lead. Managers want that 5th run across so they don't have to worry about the grand slam tying the game up. And I have actually had a bunt sign given to me in a 4-run lead with a runner on second and nobody out to get him to third so he could have that 5-run lead back.
And in this case, a pitcher on deck, but he has swung the bat okay today. Padres look like they might be onto something here with Anthony Bass. Yeah, you can get a complete game credit if you pitch 8 innings on the road in a loss. Jordan Zimmerman did that a couple of years ago.
He did that last year in Anaheim against the Angels.
That's right. That's what it was. But he's on the right side of the ledger today and may have to go 9. 2-2 pitch.
I put a request in for an interview today. And I said, I want all 5 starting pitchers, and I want to sit down with those guys and watch them interact. So hopefully, sometime this week, I'm going to sit down with all 5 of them, and we're going to talk. We're going to have just a little chit-chat.
How much time are you going to allot for this?
I hope it's a long time. I'm just going to let Gio run the whole thing.
Well, that guarantees that.
And he was talking about how funny Strasburg is and how Zimmerman's coming out of his shell. And I said, well, we're going to sit down and talk about it. I want the fans to see.
Don't tell them there's a camera.
Well, hopefully they won't act like there's one there.
Because that changes things sometimes.
We'll get him locker room talking.
Up the middle, Perry deflects. Lombardozzi picks it up on the run and makes a fine play on a 1-4-3 that advances the runner.
Steve Lombardozzi, after playing third base all that time, getting back to second, it's like driving a truck and then you get back in your Porsche. You're back to your comfort zone. You're back to your place you're familiar with. You see the play right there. That was just nice and easy. Must feel good to stand at second base for Lombardozzi.
Infield in, pitcher batting. Bud Black could bunt for that run here. He didn't bunt there, but he could with the pitcher.
Bass showed he can hit. He hit that line drive to deep left center field the second time up.
Bernardina plays him on a line straight toward the bullpen. That ball gets by Perry, but not Lombardozzi. 2 outs.
Even though you got John Baker at third base, you go contact play right there, he scores. But obviously Bud Black doesn't know it's going to be a chopper over the pitcher when he puts the play on or off. Another nice play from Lombardozzi. A good job by Ryan Perry to keep the runner at third.
Will Venable 3 for 4. And he'll line one for an RBI up the middle. A 4-hit day for Will Venable. Now the Padres have 11 hits.
Let's check it out one more time. A 4-hit day doesn't come around very often at the major league level, but you get a gift double your first time up and you parlay it into a 4 for 5. Nice job.
Nationals traded Colin Ballister to the Tigers to get Ryan Perry last December. Maben is 1 for 4. By the way, nice crowd on hand today. Close play at first. A day game with Steven Strasburg starting draws 23,902.
Nice.
And after some early showers, they've enjoyed a beautiful day at the ballpark with only one swing that caused them to jump out of their seats. The Bryce Harper leadoff homer in the 5th. Venable has stolen 5 bases in 10 attempts this year, including one today, on the front end of a double steal back in the 4th. Oh, 2. Padres 6, Nats 1, top 8. Out hitting Washington 11-4. Runner goes, and a foul off to the right on a bending, breaking ball. 0-2. Today's copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals. And the fastball up. They're in the top of the 9th now. The Astros batting at Philadelphia, trailing 3-1. Phillies trying to get back to within 1 game of the 500 mark. Hunter Pence hit his 8th today. Brian Schneider got him 2 runs early with his first. Runner started, then stopped, and a swing and a miss. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Padres out on a run. Bottom of the order straight ahead. To work, and Keo Flores and Lombardozzi do up. Bottom 8. Good tight breaking ball from Ryan Perry to strike out Cameron Maben there. The Washington area Toyota dealers just gave $37 more to children and their families as they receive medical treatment at the National Institutes of Health. Children's Inn at NIH gets $37 for every strikeout by a Nats pitcher this season. Anthony Bass is the story of this game now. 8th inning of work, pitch number 81, strike 1. 83 on the changeup, and Keel 0 for 2 with a pair of swinging strikeouts. He'll put it in play. Out beyond short, they have a new left fielder, Chris DeNorfia, and he'll make the call. So Buddy Black going for defense here in the last couple of innings.
Anthony Bassicum. 82 pitches, 57% fastball, 43% off speed. And his stuff's been good. 2-seam fastball moving all over the place. The slider's been tight and short. And he had the luxury of taking the mound with a 3-run lead.
Making it look simple. And there's nothing that guarantees you a win when your teammates get you 3 runs in the first inning. You still have to go down and shut them down for 3 or 4 to really make that count. Flores hits one right off the end of the bat that hit the ground and sort of changed directions. Thrown out by Orlando Hudson, 2 outs. Jesus Flores is now the man behind the plate, Christina.
He is, Bob, and I talked to him this week about how he's ready to take on that starting role again. He said the last couple of years it's been a challenge to learn how to be a backup catcher, and he's been trying to get into a rhythm as a hitter, but he said he went to winter ball in Venezuela and played and said it helped him a lot. He proved to himself that he can be an everyday catcher, and he said, in my mind, it's like, here we go again. I'm an everyday catcher like I've been in my career before.
He was hitting .301 with 15 RBIs in 29 games for the Nats in 09. When he took that foul ball off his right shoulder May 9th at Arizona, went on the DL. 6 days later, did not play in 2010, and then he played just 30 games with 86 at bats here last year.
You know, Carp, I played in the Venezuelan Winter League, and you play against so many big leaguers at such a high level. But if you have success there, you tell yourself, well, why couldn't I have success anywhere? And especially when you've already done it at the major league level, you go down there and reaffirm that I'm getting hits off guys that are 15-game winners, 10-game winners at the major league level. Half of my team is big leaguers. And that guy has tons of confidence in his ability, and that's what you want out of a catcher. A guy that's confident, knows what he's doing back there, is not afraid to run a baseball game. I saw Wilson Ramos on crutches today, and he said it's going to be another 3 weeks before he gets the surgery done. They have to wait for the swelling to go down.
Ew. Carlos Maldonado, by the way, and there's Lombardozzi with a great swing on a base hit to right field.
He can hit.
Carlos Maldonado in the clubhouse this morning said he's good friends with Sandy Leon. And when they told him that Leon got hurt in his first major league game, he thought his teammates were playing a joke on him. And he found out about 20 minutes later when he got called into the manager's office that it was for real. And he said any joy he had at that moment was totally wiped out by his concern for his young friend.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a tough one. You get to the big leagues again and your buddy's hurt. How about that guy? Pinch hit double the other day. Pitch hit single right there. The beat goes on for Lombardozzi. You throw him up there in any situation, he just hits.
Yeah, he's hitting .317 now.
And he went with a clean shave, too. So maybe if you're a second baseman for the Nationals, you can wear the beard on the road, but when you get home, you have to shave it.
Top of the order, Ian Desmond. The Nats are down by 5. 4 outs to go.
I can't figure out who looks younger when they shave, Lombardozzi or Espinosa, but they both have such a different look.
Well, to me, Lombardozzi, when he shaves, is a junior in high school.
Yeah. Espinosa is a senior.
Yeah. I don't think Lombo's going to get stuffed in any lockers, though. Way upstairs, 1-1. Hard throwing Andrew Kashner. You talk about a guy who can really bring it. This is the first time today the Padres have had to warm anybody up. 2 outs in the 8th inning. Desmond went. Strike 2. By the way, just a little note on Jesus Flores. He grew up idolizing 2 guys you would want to pattern yourself after.
Me and you?
No. Pudge Rodriguez and the big cat Andres Galarraga, his 2 favorite players. Desmond not able to reach that one. He's gone. 2 for 4 day for Desmond, though. And this one to the 9th inning. It's all Padres.
Out some Bam Bam taters. Why not? There he is, picking his head up. Knows we're talking about him. How about last night? First home run, a 3-1 pitch right down the middle. He hits it onto the turf in straightaway center field. Little curtain call. How about today? Fastball up, gets on top, rides this one out of the ballpark. Larry Legend with the catch. And Bryce Harper with his second home run in as many days. He's hot.
I'll say one thing for his first 2 home runs. No cheapies down the line, no wall scraping. And every time a Nat hits a homer, Washington area Lexus dealers, $200 to the Children's National Medical Center when the Nats go deep. And so, including Harper's blast today, 31 home runs, 18 in the last 13 games. Perry faces Headley. Top of the ninth, Chase Headley from the left side fouls one off. So it's possible when the Nats gave up 3 runs in the first and 4 runs in the first 3 innings and got their starter taken out after 4, they would only have to use 3 pitchers to get through the entire game. Thank you very much, Tom Gorzolani.
I talked to Davey Johnson about that for a long time last year when he became the manager of the Nationals. I had never heard that before. In all my travels, I guess as a player, you don't really talk to a manager about such things, but he talked about how he learned how to lose as a manager. And maybe as a younger manager, you sit there and you try to find every single way you can to win that game that day, and all of a sudden you fire all your bullets and it costs you 3 or 4 wins down the road. But I think today, saving the bullpen, he knew that this would be a tough go. Padres got a good bullpen. He could probably see that Anthony Bass was on top of his game. So even though this one's not over, still 3 outs left, and you never know, especially with this ball club. Sometimes you sacrifice 1 game to win 2 or 3 or 4. And that's not just waving the white towel. It's just managing a certain way to set yourself up for the next day.
Big picture in mind.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier to do that when you're 9 games over 500 than when you're 10 under.
Right.
Because when you're 10 under, every inning, every opportunity to win, you just have to kind of grab it.
Right. It's like losing at the blackjack table and you chase that last loss. And you do that, you know you're going to lose more money. And the same goes with the manager. You chase a loss and try to win it with all your bullets being fired, you're going to lose 3 or 4 games. There's the standings right there.
Hey, guess what? Houston just scored 2 in the top of the 9th inning to tie the Phillies, so a blown save there. And they're still batting with runners at 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs. Braves hosting the Reds later tonight. That is Johnny Cueto and Tim Hudson. How about that matchup in Georgia? Mets have Dylan G against Zach Greinke and the Brewers tonight. And the Marlins will throw Josh Johnson, who, by the way, is 0-3 with a .587 ERA against Kevin Correa and the Pirates. So the Pirates will arrive in the wee hours here after a long trip up from Miami. 2 balls, no strikes. Perry, a location problem or 2 here. Davey Johnson would really love not to have to get another reliever hot, as he says, in the bullpen in this 9th inning.
I don't think he will.
Ball 3. Yonder Alonso 1 for 4 with an RBI today. Orlando Hudson to follow, 1 for 3 with a walk. Had him locked up on a breaking ball. That is a swing, says Larry Vanover. Hands on hips. Yonder Alonso stares at him.
Let's check it out. Did he go? Oh, clearly that's a full swing. Wow. Not even close.
Yeah, that was not.
In a 6-1 game, they're smelling the finish line.
Up the middle. They're still going to turn 2. Look at that. Despite a stumble by Desmond, when the runner Headley probably made a little contact with him. Well started by Lombardozzi, 4-6-3.
Now, even if the runner's going on a hit and run, or you start the runner in a 3-2 count, if the ball's hit hard to you up the middle, you still have a chance to turn a double play, especially if it takes you toward the base. Nice job by Lombardozzi right there, getting it to Desmond, and nice job by regrouping. Watch it, Desmond. He gets kicked right here, loses his footing, but he knows Alonso's not a good runner. Resets, gets his feet underneath him, and turns a double play. That's a nice job.
And oftentimes you'll see the runner safe at second, out at first. Not sure what's going on there. There was a discussion between third base coach Glenn Hoffman and the umpire Larry Vanover. Bud Black was up on the top step. And Desmond did not let the little kick by Headley faze him at all, if indeed that's what it was. I know there was contact.
And just knocked his foot out from underneath him. He went to plant. His foot got kicked. Clean slide, just regroup. And know you got time and make a good throw. Maybe a younger Ian Desmond throws that ball in the first try, but the more mature, experienced Ian Desmond regroups and makes a nice play.
Orlando Hudson on base twice today. Perry delivers a strike, 0-2. And when the game's over, Johnny Holiday, Ray Knight gathering their forces out there in left field. That's Extra Postgame presented by W.B. Mason. Well, the Nats are guaranteed not to lose this series at home. Haven't lost one at home all year. And so they still have life. 3 outs to go, 2, 3, and 4 coming up.
And as Bob just mentioned, the Nationals will win the overall series, taking 3 out of 5 out there on the coast and here. This is the last time we'll see the Padres. Johnny Holiday and Ray Knight will be along with our postgame in a moment. Just kind of one of those days, huh, Ray, when you try to break it down?
Yeah, you know, they always talk about day game following night games, and sometimes there's a lot to that. The rain delay in Cincinnati, then the rain last night. Sometimes it tends to make you lazy. And, hey, listen, during the course of the season, there's probably 5, 6, 8, 10 times when you just are tired. You wake up in the morning and your legs are heavy and, you know, you just are lethargic no matter what, no matter how hard you stretch or run. And maybe this was one of those days. I know the offense didn't have much. Steven wasn't locating the ball well, and they came out with their hitting shoes on.
We'll try to make some sense of it as we come back with our Nets Extra. It's not over yet. Let's go back to Bob and FP up top.
All right, Johnny, this baby ain't over until FP says it is. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Chevrolet and their award-winning cars, trucks, and crossovers. It will not be a complete game for Anthony Bass. They'll go with hard-throwing Andrew Kashner. And wait till you get to the second page on this guy. 18th appearance, good ERA. He strikes out guys almost 1 per inning, but he has had control issues.
Well, he's got a big fastball. It's just a matter of making him throw it for a strike. I think obviously down by 5 runs here, you take a strike all the way and try to get something going. But his fastball average, you ready for this, Carp? His average, 98.7 miles an hour.
Wow.
So that's the average on his fastball. That means he goes triple digits. Slider 87, changeup 88.
Well, what a clean game for Anthony Bass today. 8 innings, 5 hits, a run, 1 walk. That was wiped out on a double play. 7 strikeouts, couple of double plays, and here's Roger Bernardina, probably the happiest guy that Bass is sitting in the dugout right now. Although he's going to face some serious heat here.
99 right out of bed.
Cashner, former Cub, came over in the Anthony Rizzo deal. The young first baseman the Padres thought was going to be their future over there, and they traded him to the Cubs. That ball will spin foul. Bernardina, Zimmerman, and LaRoche, bottom of the 9th. Wow. 73 fewer pitches. Now the Nats have pitched 1 extra inning, and then Bass is 8, but look at the difference.
Keep an eye on what the Padres do tomorrow, because they have a 3:30 game at home
with the Dodgers. So this week, even teams playing within their division are playing 2-game series. They played the Dodgers 2 before the Angels come in.
Sometimes they shouldn't let the schedule makers drink.
And a 2-hopper over to third base for Chase Headley. I think the computer got a virus sometime during the latter stages. The thing that was interesting to me about this year's schedule, remember last year we started early, started late, and they kind of condensed things, and then we finished early. Well, then they put out the schedule for this year before they even waited to see how last year's schedule worked out. It was really interesting, because remember last year the season ended in September on a Thursday. Wednesday, I think it was, and of course you had all the drama with some of those last night of the season games. But this year's schedule was out before they found out how last year's adjusted schedule worked. So somebody must not have been too happy with it.
I just think you got to go back to the schedule like it was back in the day, where you go to every city out of your division twice, and everybody in your division 3 times.
They'd have to get rid of Interleague, though, to do that.
Just keep the rivalry. Keep the series against the Orioles, and that's it.
Now, there is talk that the geographic interleague rivals may not go home and home anymore. For example, maybe 1 year Orioles here, next year Nationals there. And that would affect the Cubs, White Sox, Yankees, Mets, Angels, Dodgers, A's, Giants, Cardinals, Royals. But some of the other interleague matchups just don't make that much sense. Out of play, right side.
And as a player, I'd like to go to every city at least twice. I mean, you get used to it. You get used to the ballpark. Now, the Padres played in Washington for a day and a half. That's it. In the old schedule, they'd come here twice for 3 or 4 games.
Yeah. One ball and 2 strikes to Zimmerman. Ryan is 0 for 3 with 3 grounders today. That ball in the air. Right fielder Will Venable, who's had quite a day cruising to it. And the Padres about to take their long flight home with their 13th win of the year. The Nats would be 22-14 here at home. Nats extra coming up. And their road record will still be excellent at 13-5 unless they pull off a miracle here. Gio Gonzalez tomorrow night against Eric Bedard. Nats extra 6:30. We're back on our usual nighttime schedule. Adam LaRoche will keep things alive with a base hit to left center. Second time on base for him today, and he came into the game 7th in the league with a .417 on base percentage.
That's an 0 for 2 into a 1 for 3, and that's a salvage for Adam LaRoche. Nice job.
And by the way, some of the folks who stayed around to see Bryce Harper bat again, they get rewarded here.
Nice.
He's the kind of guy you'll stay around to watch. I guarantee you some people are standing up on the concourse in left field by Johnny and Ray out there before they head for the Navy Yard station. They're going to stand on the concourse up against the rail out there to watch one more time.
Well, they might get a ball if they've headed out to the Navy Yard station.
LaRoche will take second base. So there are the Railbirds on the left field concourse. If you see any friends there, send them a text message and congratulate them on staying for the entire game. Even though they're not in their seats.
This will be a huge swing right here if it's a fastball. Watch this.
Air it out.
Yeah, 100 miles an hour, and I'm going to swing as hard as I can. Who wins?
He goes off speed 89.
That's just not fair. You're up by 5 runs. Throw him a heater.
Come on.
A 1-0 changeup from a guy that throws 100. The game has changed.
When he's up by 5? That's another changeup, 90.
A 2-0 changeup from a guy that throws 100. I mean, I think it has changed. You talk to Steve McCaddy all the time. There's no way that a guy that threw that hard back in the day would ever throw a changeup to a guy because it was just a macho thing. Here's my best bolt. Let's see if you can hit it. Like that.
100. This kid makes contact with that. It might hit the scoreboard.
Off of 2 changeups, 100-mile-an-hour fastball to Bryce Harper, and he can't catch up. But back in the day, and I don't want to sound old right now, it was my best bolt against your best bolt, and I wanted to see if I was better than you. But I think in today's game, guys just try to trick people, and they get more out of that than actually throwing a ball by them.
Another changeup. Harper hangs tough. Nats are down to their final strike here in a 6-1 game. Two-two pitch. Game over. 2 hours and 51 minutes for the Padres to gain a split in the 2-game series. Back with more to wrap it up from Nationals Park in a moment.